Social media, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or Facebook, we're constantly scrolling, liking, sharing, and engaging. But here's the thing. How often do we stop and think, is this really good for me? Today, we're going to reflect on social media through a Stoic lens. How would Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca approach this digital age? And how can we use their wisdom to live more purposefully online? The power of social media, tool or trap? Let's start with the good stuff. Social media has revolutionized our world. It connects us with people we'd never meet otherwise, gives us access to endless information, and allows us to build communities around shared interests. You've probably learned a lot, made new friends, and maybe even found inspiration from it. Sounds great, right? But here's where things get tricky. Social media can also be a trap. It's designed to pull you in, keep you hooked, and drain your time and energy without you even realizing it. How many times have you opened Instagram for just 5 minutes and then lost an hour? Or scrolled through TikTok before bed and found yourself wide awake at 2 a.m. From a Stoic perspective, this loss of control is exactly what we're trying to avoid. Epictetus taught that true freedom comes from mastering your own mind, not letting external things control you. When we give in to mindless scrolling, we're handing over our power to something outside of ourselves. The Stoics would remind us that our time and attention are precious, and we should guard them fiercely. Self-control and digital boundaries. So, how do we regain that control? The first Stoic principle we can apply here is self-control. Think of social media as another area where we need to practice discipline. Just like we'd be mindful of what we eat or how we spend our money, we should be just as intentional with how we use social media. Set boundaries for yourself. Maybe you check your apps only at certain times of the day, or maybe you limit your screen time to 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes at night. The goal isn't to cut off social media entirely, because let's face it, it's a part of life now, but to use it intentionally. When you pick up your phone, ask yourself, why am I opening this app? What do I hope to get out of it? If the answer is mindless entertainment or avoiding something else in life, you might want to reconsider. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. In the same way, waste no more time getting lost in the online void. Be present in your own life, avoiding comparison and envy. Here's another challenge that comes with social media: comparison. We've all been there. You open Instagram and see a friend on a perfect vacation, someone else just bought a new car, or someone's got that picture-perfect family. And suddenly, you feel like your life is lacking. Maybe you're not doing enough, or you don't have enough. It's easy to spiral into envy, but Marcus Aurelius would have a simple response. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Envy, comparison, and feeling less than come from focusing on external things. Stoicism teaches us to shift that focus back to ourselves. It's not about what someone else has or is doing. The only thing that matters is how you're living your own life. When we find ourselves getting sucked into that comparison game, we need to take a step back. Marcus and Epictetus would remind us that it's not the things themselves, someone's new car, vacation, or fancy house, that bother us. It's our judgments about those things. We create the feeling of envy in our minds, and if we create it, we can also uncreate it. So next time you catch yourself feeling envious, remind yourself, their success doesn't take away from mine. Focus on what you can control, which is how you live your own life with integrity, virtue, and purpose. Authenticity in a curated world. One of the biggest challenges with social media is that it's a curated version of reality. People only show their highlights. And because of that, we often feel pressured to present a version of ourselves that's not entirely real. We post the perfect selfie or the happiest moments, even if behind the scenes, things aren't so great. Seneca would be all over this. He'd tell you that living authentically is one of the most important things you can do. Stoicism is all about aligning your actions with your values. Are you sharing things because they're true to who you are, or because they'll get more likes? Are you presenting yourself in a way that matches your inner life, or are you putting on a mask for social approval? Social media makes it easy to get caught up in the approval of others, but Stoicism teaches us that true contentment comes from being at peace with yourself. Don't live for likes, live for something deeper. Dealing with criticism online. Of course, if you do live authentically, you might face criticism. The internet is full of people with opinions, and they're not always kind. How would a Stoic handle online trolls or negative comments? Well, Epictetus would probably remind us that the opinions of others are outside of our control. We can't control what someone else says, but we can control how we respond to it. The Stoic approach to criticism is simple. If the feedback is useful and true, learn from it. If it's not, let it go. Don't let the judgments of others derail your peace of mind. Your worth isn't tied to what someone online thinks of you. As Seneca said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Most of the time, those comments won't matter tomorrow, let alone in a week or a year. Final thoughts. Using social media as a Stoic. In the end, social media, like anything in life, is neutral. It's not inherently good or bad. What matters is how we use it. From a Stoic perspective, social media can be an opportunity to practice self-control, authenticity, and emotional resilience. It's a place where we can exercise our Stoic virtues, patience, wisdom, and courage by controlling how we engage with it. Use social media with intention. Practice gratitude for what you have instead of getting lost in comparison. Share what matters, but don't seek validation. And most importantly, remember that your true value comes from how you live, not how others perceive you.